Hella dope again?
Hella dope. Hella dope every time. Hella dope for life, yo.
For the second time.
Bring me everyone. What do you mean, everyone?
Welcome to Everyone Racers.
It's a show designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture.
It doesn't matter what kind of limit champ
Or lucky track dog league you run.
SCCA or NASA, we won't discriminate.
as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself.
Join us each week for tech discussions,
Tips, tricks, as well as news and notes from the world of amateur endurance racing.
And whether it's on the spot,
hella sweet.
Or we're lucky enough,
Chrissy,
and Chrissy,
I give you just the tip.
we're sure you'll giggle a little.
and learn even less.
Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy!
And I'm mental.
And we're Everyone Racers. Again, this is welcome to a Skymaster episode of our podcast. This is episode 336, and the Cessna Skymaster is an all-American twin-engine civil utility aircraft built in a push-pull configuration. And the first version of the Skymaster 336 went into production in May of 1963. Its engines were mounted in the nose and the rear of the pod-style fuselage. Twin booms extended aft the wings to the vertical stabilizers with the rear engine between them. The horizontal stabilizer is aft to the pusher propeller mounted between the connecting the two booms. The combined tractor and pusher engines produce centerline thrust and a unique sound. If you're not thrusting and making a unique sound or flying a Cessna Skymaster, make up a bingo card in your head and tell us what's on it. Because we still don't have a new bingo card. As much as I have said for the last 3 months, I should make up a bingo card. We have not made a bingo card.
We just
Maybe
haven't.
someday.
No one sent us bingo. Really, it's just bingo for us anyway.
Sure.
The Army used those as forward air observers, and they used to call them mix masters because of the dual propeller thing. I had forgotten those.
Mixmaster
existed.
sounds funner.
Fun little machines. Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
Mental, we haven't seen you in a while. Also,
I haven't seen you guys in a while.
thank
How
you
are
to
y'all
all of our
doing?
listeners. We're very sorry that we missed 2 weeks in a row. Life sometimes gets in the way, so we just had to call audibles on that one.
Well, so
Yep.
what were you working on?
So we've been around. We just haven't been able to figure out a night that worked for our event, for our show. I've had a library event this week. I had a ton of library stuff, had a bunch of work stuff that's kind of taken over some of my life. Last week was library week on our normal show night work. And so we got some new friends since we've seen you. We have 2 lovely sisters. They are 8, almost 9 months old, I think, at this point. One of them, if you're watching on this podcast, so if you're listening to this podcast, it's going to be a visual, helpful episode. that you
Also,
may want
if
to-
you're listening to this podcast, these aren't children.
Yeah.
correct,
Yeah, 'cause-
they're
yeah, they didn't
yes,
just
we
go
just
grab a couple of 9-month-old sisters.
no, they're cats. Thank you for that. They're fuzzy. They are not human. They're cats. There is one of them. That the gray and white one is Checo, and then black and white one is Senna. I don't know where she is right now. Of course, they're race car driver names. They are girls. We knew that Senna was going to be one of them when we got them. We just had to figure out which one was which. Chris is now
Oh,
holding
look at
Senna.
that. Yeah, Senna came upstairs.
And Checo is sitting down here. They're both lovely. They're kittens. We keep saying hashtag kitten life, because they sprint around the house. They bring us toys in the middle of the night. The one night we're laying in bed and all of a sudden one jumps from my side of the bed, the far side of me, all the way over me onto Chris to attack his legs. So, it's a lot. They're a lot. And I absolutely said, oh, look at the kittens. They're so cute kittens. And I was looking at like the, couple week old kittens, and joking about getting them. And they look so cute then. And thank goodness they didn't get tiny, tiny ones, because these are a handful and they're 9 months old, or 8 and 9 months old. They said they may not be sisters. They're totally sisters. They do the same things. They run around. We joke around the house and we say when there's one, there's two, because when they have FOMO, when one does something, the other one is right behind her. So they are filling our hearts and love and all of the sadness we are missing from losing our previous cat. It's doubled. We just have two now.
That's awesome. That's great. So they came from the same litter or like at least group of kittens at the shelter.
Well, we don't really know. They were strays that they had picked up somehow, but they are not just, they were clearly not feral cats. They are very good with people and being handled and like people and things. So
Litter
they have,
boxes, they're well trained. They're well trained.
yeah.
They're
So
kittens, but
who
they're
knows
trained.
how they ended up out
Well,
available to be
obviously they
caught,
bonded
but
if they've got FOMO and they like want to be
Oh,
in the same
absolutely.
place. So
well, they were in
good
the
on
same
you guys
cage.
for not splitting them up. You know, if they're not like blood sisters, they're certainly spiritually sisters.
They were in the same cage when at the rescue league, and certainly very friendly, and
can
they
see-
certainly
That's what,
Oh,
that's what I'm holding up
hugging
a
each
picture
other.
of them. Yeah, they're both in the same bed in our front window. Chris took that
Mm.
today at while he was at work here. So yes, so they're definitely two peas in a pod. They're super fun and yeah, it's fun having them around.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay.
Mental, what have you been up to?
Well, so also had work stuff. We did our second major exercise, and that was part of the contribution of us not being able to have, you know, get it together and record shows for 2 weeks. That has now ended. I've spent and actually during that time, because I work like a split shift, I go in the early afternoon and then I come back. Well, and I was doing it for a little while. Then I inherited some other duties and then was there until like midnight or 1 in the morning sometimes. So I'd get it in the morning and I would get a bunch of Porsche work done. So I've been working on the Porsche. Just recently got Miata stuff. I had two awesome Facebook scores. So I found a set of Bilsteins, which came on the club version of the ND Miata. They're a little bit more responsive as opposed to the Grand Touring shocks. And they were already wrapped with a set of Fly Miata springs. So now, after yesterday and today, my Miata sits 1.5 inches lower. I also managed to score a Goodwin Racing, they call it their Roadster exhaust. So it's got a little bit of a nice throaty snarl to it under load, but the design of it when you're sitting in traffic, you don't look like a kid with an automatic Honda and a fart can melon baller. So it sounds quite fine at idle, and it only gets snarky when you're on it. So I just took it around the block and had a great time with that one.
Excellent.
And I figured out kind of the hard way that my Miata is lower now, because as I went to lower it off the jack jammed up under the car.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
low
sits
car
lower.
life.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Low car life.
And I was using the old trick where you take the 2x4, put it under the mirror of the Miata, and you can get up both sides on there. But so I pinched one of my little side moldings and it snapped, and I had to fix that and feel stupid while I did it. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go to Harbor Freight and get a low profile jack now. The old
Or just-
Craftsman was getting long in the tooth anyway, and it weighs more than the damn car. So when I drag it out, it makes a racket. I also managed to sneak away from here and go down to Laughlin, Nevada, which is about 90 minutes down the road, meet up with everyone that had just started on the Route 66 rally. Got to hang out with
That's
Jeff.
fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to hang out with Jeff Stobbs, Judge Tom, and Jan. They brought their kids. They had this hella sweet celebrity wagon that the only problem with it was clear coat, but that thing was mint. There was the Latino garage and a 66 Mustang fastback. It was super gorgeous. Steph and her buddy Charles had come up and rented a BMW, and then carefully but responsibly decorated it lemon style. There were all kinds, a lot of the Lemons regulars. I missed the XC90 kids. I love those guys. They're actually from Oklahoma and have seen them they were up in Alaska. Just a great crew all the way around, and got to hang out with them. That was super ton of fun. We sat in the off the parking area of the world's, probably like well, they were calling it the world's saddest casino in Laughlin. And we all went through a lovely case of Modelo, and then I drove home. That was a good time there. And I just returned from the Driven Garage. You might know it as Alloy Motors on Instagram. They are undergoing a like a whole marketing rebrand thing, but it's Jeff Gates, super tall guy out here that runs West Coast. He had a ton of fun. He was judging the Thunderhill race where we had to swap out the LS in Pantless Matt's Firebird. So me, him, and Tim, and he was over there helping because he's that kind of a guy. And he messages all of us and he goes, man, I like judging, but I miss this. I miss racing. I've got this old Lemon's car that had been around for a while, and my team is moved or retired or just doesn't do it anymore. What's it take to get into Sorry for Party racing? And of course, all it takes is a pair of neon zebra camo and you are ready to go. So we went down there and we spent the weekend working in his shop, and it will spoil you working in a pro shop. His band saw that we were using to cut metal cost more than every tool in my garage. It was, but we got the engine out. We got it all shaken loose. We've got a list of things to do, and then we had one concept that evolved, as art so often does, into a new concept, which I think is going to be a frigging huge hit with everybody. And just hanging out with Judge Jeff Gates. He's one of those, you meet people in Lemons and they're really interesting, and then you get to know them better and they become like, there's depth to them that you didn't know. Hanging out with him at his place. He's also a rescue animal kind of person. So he had a couple of rescue dogs that were hanging out, and he got a cool house in a cool neighborhood over in Oakland, and his shop is awesome. And the stuff that he is building, you will never see at a Lemons paddock because it's all this super high end, unbelievable attention to detail kind of stuff. So, what a great time. So, and we're working on lemony stuff coming soon to a West Coast track near you. Chris, I see you have also been getting your hands dirty and greasy. I just got done. I got to go back out there and work on stuff lately.
But I want to show you some mental. You need a new jack.
I do.
Tell you, this is the jack that you want. This is what I have, and I love it. It's the AC hydraulics.
Okay, there's that's
AC
the cool one with
hydraulic.com.
the like, and not just the twisty handle, but it's actually got like a curved.
Yeah, and it's a safety release. This thing, it's made in Denmark. It is been incredibly reliable, incredibly useful. They make really high reach version ones too. They've got heavy duty ones.
Ooh.
I cannot say enough about how much I like the one that I have.
Hashtag they should totally sponsor us.
Yeah, I've had it for more than 20 years and I've done absolutely nothing to it. And that thing is a champ. So it's one of those buy once, cry once.
Yeah, it's pretty, and it's also pretty heavy. Like just
it
heavy
is very
in
sturdy.
life. Yes.
Well, and I can't complain. My Craftsman was it was a special that Vicky bought me 20 years ago.
So replacing it's probably not like the worst.
No, I've gotten my money's worth out of it, but
now that you have ultra low riders, you probably should find something.
Yeah, this thing is
jack it up with.
High-end nice jack that you will every time you use it, you'll say, "Oh, this is really good." Got it.
All right. We'll get the link to that in the show notes.
AC hydraulics, right? Okay. I've been working on stuff. We've had time. Been working on the MG mostly, and mostly it's been that car. Everything about it is fiddly, custom, time-consuming work. Everything about it. Like I've been doing carpeting and stuff, but when you do carpeting, like redoing the trunk carpeting, it's all custom. None of it fits right.
It was all done by a guy named Phil, but some 70 years ago.
Exactly. And they're all named Nigel, I think. That was it. Yeah, but just like attaching there's no provision to attach the spare tire cover in the back, so I'm having to make stuff up and create things, and nothing fits right, and finding lots of sins of previous owners. Some of them were me, but wires that are just twisted together with some tape over them. like all over the place. Things are not connected right. Things are just disconnected at all. Like the heater blower motor that I used to, on my way to school as a 16-year-old in the morning, I'd kind of fiddle with this wire to get it to touch this other spot, and that would let the heater blower turn on. Right now, well, now I fixed it properly. Things like that are just taking a lot of time. Like, they got the wipers all together finally. It's just slow work. I finally was able to order some parts. The best MGA parts source is a place in Rhode Island that doesn't have an online presence. They have a paper catalog, and mostly they have a lady named Celia. And you call the lady named Celia. She's this older lady who has forgotten more about MGAs than I'm going to ever know, despite owning it for 30 years. And every part you're telling you tell her she wants, she's going to tell you the story about how that part either goes on, the best way to install it, or why their part is better than other suppliers' parts. And so it takes half an hour to make an order.
She's the MG equivalent to that Volkswagen lady you found on the Babe Rally.
Pretty much. Pretty much. So I've got the part ordered. I haven't gotten confirmation that the order, I've gotten the order or sent it yet, but whatever. I talked to her and gave her, it'll show up someday, and that's fine. Tonight I fixed Chrissy's sister's husband's Durango. It had a cylinder 4 misfire, so we threw some coil packs and spark plugs at it, which for anyone that's never worked on a Chrysler Pentastar, getting to the driver's side spark plugs and coil packs requires removing the intake plenum, which has several little just impossible to reach brackets holding it on, which is just frustrating. But got that all done. And we had a Civic party up at Garage Heroes last Saturday. I brought our Civic up. They had their Civic there. We corner weighted and aligned both cars, which was fun. They got to learn how to do it. I got to corner weight my car. It's just nice. I've got our Civic corner weighted to within 2 pounds as raced with as race trim the way we've got it. Got the alignment just right. Both cars should be set up very nicely now. So it's great to take advantage of Bill's equipment. Bill likes to buy things. I like to use the things Bill's buys while teaching him how to buy the things that teaching him how to use the things he bought. This is a great symbiotic relationship there. So
yes.
Yeah. I think I changed the oil in the Mercedes and the Cadillac too in that time. It's been a lot of stuff. Working on things.
Well, it's been 2 weeks since we've been around,
Yeah.
so we've had plenty of time to do stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had time to do stuff, and that doing stuff was reasons we couldn't get it together. One of the funnier comments when we did post a video after not like releasing an episode for 2 weeks was someone I have to go look at the YouTube. It said can't make your schedules. No one more like no one wants to work anymore, which was hilarious. Well played.
Yep.
Right. Ready? News and
Bust it.
Great.
Yes.
Box Business has a story that might affect your insurance rates. Recently, a 65-year-old software company saw his insurance rate for his Chevy Bolt EV increase 21% in the year, despite a clean driving record. The culprit, OnStar. It appears that GM has been selling bulk data about driving habits from their OnStar connected vehicle for years. No specific location data, but information about acceleration, braking, and other control inputs to data brokers. These companies, like Lexis Nexis, provides insurance companies with customer driving data as a method of risk assessment. This practice was largely unknown to consumers, with consent often buried in the very fine print and obscure privacy policies. It is also important to note that GM isn't alone in this practice, as it's been a growing trend among major automakers, including Ford, Honda, Hyundai, and others. We have many links in our notes.
So many
links.
And LexisNexis describes their product as a, quote, a source-agnostic platform for telematics-based driving behavior data and vehicle insights that has the ability to bring insurance carriers together with automotive manufacturers and other third-party telematics service providers to help improve the car ownership experience, end quote. In 2018, they announced the program as a means to track vehicle history, stating, quote, relying on customers to fill in the critical but sometimes non-obvious or unknown details for their insurer to then assess risk and provide an appropriate premium back to the consumer can be cumbersome and unreliable. And a New York Times report indicated that some of the GM vehicles were tracked even when the OnStar Smart Driver feature was turned off. Lexis Nexis said, quote, telematics data is highly predictive of driving risk and is best used alongside other standard rating variables like claims history and credit-based insurance scores. Now, hang on. Chris talks about insurance. Check it off your Mango card.
Yay!
I do know a little bit about this kind of thing, and LexisNexis is an incredible resource of stuff, and the amount of things that are available on it are frightening at
I
times.
had no idea. I was about to stop the story midway and say, are they still around? Because that used to be like almost like a search engine, like when we had dial up.
Yeah, they do have a different kind of search engine now for, like, I can tell you again.
Oh, like you can tell
astounding
me what I
things.
can. Okay,
I
great.
actually can't. The people that work for me can. I don't have access anymore, but the
Oh.
people that work for me do. So anyway,
Oh,
but the other thing is the insurance companies don't just get this data. You have to opt into this somehow. So somehow you may not have realized you've opted in to it, but yeah, it's a little how well you have recognized being opted into this is the issue. And some carriers are a lot better about this than others. We'll put it that way. Typically, the more you advertise, the worse you are about this kind of thing.
Yeah. Surprise! There's a class action lawsuit filed.
Yep.
So Romeo Checo was rejected by 7 separate insurance providers before getting a policy at nearly twice his former rate. And these increases were linked to his 2021 Cadillac XT6's data tracking. Now, Checo claims that he was not aware until he learned on one of his applications that it was declined because of his, quote, LexisNexis report. The insurance telematics market right now is dominated by Progressive. That's exactly what that little smart drive thing is that you plug into your OBD port. And it's worth pausing here that everyone I know that has done that, not one single person has ever gotten a discount ever. It has always been an increase. And others as Allstate, Liberty Mutual, Nationwide, State Farm, they all have programs that use telemetric data. Now, elected officials are starting to take notice. Massachusetts Senator Ed Markey has asked the Fair Trade Commission to look into the practice, while California Protection Agency is currently investigating the automator's data collection practices. And the reason was, when I was digging all this information up, there are numerous people that say they did not opt in on these GM vehicles, but the telematics data is still being tracked, whether you turn it on or off, it doesn't matter, because it's all there and it's all getting mobbed together and sold to LexisNexis. So even if you're opting out, they're collecting data on whether or not how you drive. Chrissy, there's some more information down there.
if you want to know that, if you know if you want to know if any of your driving habits are being tracked and shared, you can actually request a consumer disclosure report through LexisNexis, required by the Fair Credit Reporting Act. That link is down there.
I did that this evening. Let's see what happens.
Oh,
It's a multi-step process.
I did it 2 weeks ago. Have not gotten my report yet. I've got
Okay.
acknowledgement that I asked for it, but they haven't sent it to me.
good.
And you can also use your car's VIN to access the OEM's privacy policy, as well as the data it's capable of collecting. Now there's a report for free. I looked at this and I was looking at this and I'm saying, you know what, this vehicle privacy report thing, they now are going to have all this data because you have to give them a fair amount too. What are they doing with it? And I didn't have time to read their privacy policy to see what they're doing with it before I could do anything else. Because if you want them to have you opt out, you have to give them permission to be your agent, to opt out of all these things. And I'm like, slightly sus. Want to look up more before I go.
did go through that, and what they told me, because they're trying to sell you something, and what they said is that my Mazda is basically and they use this quote, rolling hard drive, and it collects everything. But they had a link to Mazda's corporate data sharing policies. Mazda does not share it, and it is what is even more interesting is because I purchased my car pre-owned from a non-Mazda dealer, everything that I'm doing is being linked to the previous owner. So if their
Oh.
rates go up all of a sudden,
Interesting. I wonder.
because because they didn't sell the car back to Mazda, they sold it to another dealership, and that dealership doesn't give a crap about updating Mazda on who owns this particular vehicle. Their job is to sell it and move on. And I feel like
Mhm.
that's going to be an interesting stake in some of this stuff, is unless they are cross-referencing with state registration.
That's too
So,
much work.
Well,
That's like so much work.
right.
Look, Mercedes knows that we own that car, but we've had it in for service at Mercedes, so that's probably why. I've never
Mazda
gotten
has
anything.
no idea.
Yeah, I've never gotten anything from General Motors on the Cadillac.
But I don't know that we're
Uh,
doing anything differently because we bought that from Virginia. So it's probably.
Well,
No, but-
and looking through the Carfax report, I absolutely guarantee that I'm driving my car differently. And there was some somewhere in this report too, there was a couple of people that bought high performance vehicles and took them onto tracks. But this telematic data while they were on racetracks doing safe high performance driver education all gets fed into this. And there's because the geolocating data cannot be sold because that is a privacy issue. All they know is oh my God,
It's just going
3
around.
times on this Saturday for 20 minutes, they were doing 105 miles an hour and doing max braking. Oh my God, this person is dangerous.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're talking about Miata, so let's talk about a different Miata. You're going to hear a lot about racing junk here in a few moments, but right now, Miata is always the answer, especially when new teams want to race and don't want to build a new car. So we have a 1990 Miata 1.8 liter. It's ready for Lemons, Champ, Lucky Dog, and most of the series.
Series?
Series. That's not what it says. The current owner has had it for 2 years and ran 4 Lucky Dog events, passed tech as recently as October, and the safety equipment is up to date. Buy the car now and race with Lucky Dog in May at Big Willow. Extra wheels included, selling due to teammates losing interest. It's a good deal, but mental. Tell us what they went wrong with the ad.
They didn't get a pro membership, so there's only one
Mhm.
picture.
Come on.
Seriously. So Racing Joint just had a St. Patrick's Day promo offering a 1-month pro membership for, get this, $1. Now it might still be going
So
on.
cheap.
Seriously, it's $1. You would use $1 worth of racing junk. You can check out our Instagram, see if that deal's still going, because we promoted that one. And if it is no good, you can still definitely use code POD23. Get that racing junk pro membership to get you
So
some
what?
pro junk.
Pro
Oh,
junk.
To get you some
That's
pro
their-
junk.
That's their new slogan, pro junk.
Pro junk. And what that
Pro
does is that,
junk.
yes,
I'm pro
that gets
junk.
you 5
Are
ads.
you?
That gets you 50 photos per ad, that you know who's watching your item. You got a dashboard, you got all that stuff. I did post that motorcycle that I had with my father back in February on there, and I just got a message about it. And I was able to check all the stuff on the dashboard. I'm like, oh goodness, I feel so bad. I've already sold that motorcycle. And I was able to message a person, but it just, everything's off your hand because we've got a pro membership under Everyone Racers, and it has absolutely been worth every dime. You could save all your favorite ads, all this other kind of stuff. Plus you get like discounts on all their t-shirts and everything. So you should definitely check out Racing Junk.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We're gonna have more later.
Yep. Now we don't have any upcoming races, and I just did not get a chance to get the results for Champ Car at NCM or Lemons at NOLA or the Lemons Rally.
We can. I mean, we can pull lemons and Nola pretty easily, but
We'll have those next week. How about that?
okay,
Because we had no upcoming races this week, so we've got time. No
There
problem.
we
that's true. Let's talk about them next week because we have a jam-packed show anyway, and we delayed our start on this. Okay, so it's time. On our last episode with Dean from Sorry for Party on YouTube, Mike K said, the hand pump story has a more critical life safety application from my time in Iraq. Short version, a Russian-designed Rolls-Royce turbine-powered, built under the license in Poland, helicopter I regularly flew had a 20-liter oil drum with a foot pump operated by the door gunner's left hand when commanded by the co-pilot. The engine in question, if built in England, was recalled for a leaky oil seal. Polish built and operated, not so much. When he noted that this is an
Keep pumping
amazing,
more oil in, it's
oh,
fine.
that's when he noted that this is amazing, even for my case story. The smoke trail the helicopter left in its wake was more impressive.
I've got some time on some sketchy Russian built stuff, but man, that is just next level. Oh,
Yeah.
now I posted the picture of the floors of my 914 in a "What You Working On?" and Jeff H called my rust-free car really free rust. Greg O'Brien also said, quote, "For those of us in the Northeast have been told the legend of the Southeast where cars never rust for generations. Sometimes it's all that keeps us going during the cold, angry winters. That and Dunkin' Donuts. If we were lied to, I am so crushed." You weren't lied to. The car is a year younger than I am. And what's even more interesting is it rusted from the top down. So the floor pans didn't rust out. Water got inside the car and then sat there and puddled and eventually got under the Dynomat or the tar like coating that I had to do the infamous dry ice method on there. So don't be crushed, Craig.
No way that a rubber seal wore out in a desert and allowed water to leak in. I don't know how that possibly happened. Al Jones said, "Hey, it's kind of cute. You consider that rust. Vegas rust is like Vegas weather when you think 60 degrees is cold."
60 degrees is cold.
Nope. Everyone, Sean Dillon said that everyone racers, or said, I'm sorry, said to us, it's put on a sweatshirt temperature at worst. And then Tim Burr says, surface rust created from the salty tears of its past owners, some of joy and some, well, because Porsche.
Gentleman Dave was driving back from the Route 66 rally where he almost died again. It's about right.
That's why I didn't get to hang out with him. He was stuck in the middle of nowhere with a car that he had just bought. I posted another "What You Working On" from the Driven Garage with Judge Jeff and Tim Burr and a couple other folks. And Merle Martin, Judge Phil himself, said, "It is good to see that great / horrible Isuzuic Chevy still around." And that's a little bit more of an insight as to what is coming up in May for Thunderhill.
Oh, Bill F said we already know what he's working on.
Randy said, "Hey, I got my work done earlier this week. Stopped at U-Pull, road tripping to a wedding. Swapped a cooling fan from the K9 unit with a junkyard replacement in a Target parking lot a few hours before the wedding." Fantastic.
Matt F was working, quote, "Starting prepping for CMP, looking the T-Bird over, and then home work, putting on our new kitchen back together." Send us a picture of that, and that's a good looking kitchen.
It is. It's beautiful.
He's got a cool house too.
Yeah,
he
he does.
He
Yeah.
really does. He's a cool
Scott
cat. He deserves a cool house.
Absolutely. Scott McMichael said, quote, "Transportation," and has a new Dodge Diplomat project. Oh,
You're going to
that's-
have to go check out our Facebooks to see that picture because it is awesome.
Awesome is the right word. Corey D said, picking out items for a bathroom remodel this afternoon. See, it's not all IOE with him.
And the kind of guy Corey is, he's doing an entire bathroom remodel in an afternoon. That's just done. Yep.
Not completely in an afternoon. Theoretically, there was a shower head he's not allowed to have in California, so it's being mailed to my house, and then I'm going to send it to him because the company was like, "Sorry, you live in California, we can't send it to that address."
It's not like a low flow or something like a
Yeah.
energy, whatever.
Well, or somebody just didn't want to file the California paperwork that says their
that too.
factory is
Sure.
compliant with.
Oh, he needs to put like a Prop 69 warning label on his shower. It's like the shower head is known by the state of California to cause injuries. Please beware. Something like that.
Yeah. Albert W was just rambling with the mighty Rambler. It is still out there.
And Adam N says, picking up a replacement of a childhood toy that will make for some excellent stunning and exploding in the paddock. It will ride a wheelie well under 10 miles an hour forever. Maybe an image of a tractor, snowplow, all-terrain vehicle, and text. It's some kind of ATV thing. But he was also dynoing his Magnum wagon and included a video. Cool.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, who doesn't often do wheelies at 10 miles an hour forever?
But if she could, maybe she would.
I say,
her RDX
you know
doesn't
who's
do that.
all dyno and all Magnum? Yeah.
Hi, Mom.
Hello,
That's
Chrissy's
the real
mom.
answer. Cookie's coming to a race near you sometime soon.
Actually,
Yeah.
what, we got 3 weeks till
Mhm.
pit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
3 weeks till
it's hard to
cookies.
keep track of these things when you're not, frantically trying to throw the car back together at the last minute because it's been ready since last year.
It's
Yeah.
oh, if we didn't say that, we swapped the cars out this weekend at the garage. The Mazda's in
We
the
didn't
trailer
do
now.
that. Oh,
It's
I took
sitting
all
in the
kinds of
trailer.
pictures too. I should do that.
It's
So-
the weekend before the race. I'll pull it back out of the trailer and flush the water and swap the tires and bleed the brakes and send it.
It was a nice weekend to do the shuffling, though. We seriously need a lazy Susan.
Yep.
Anyway, it's my time. What
Yeah,
are we
Chrissy,
doing?
You were the one that came up with the basic ideas for this again.
I like car shopping shows. So that's what I told you. So if you're listening to the podcast, we will do our best to describe what we're looking at, but chances are you probably will want to look at what we're looking at because that's just half the fun. We decided on a car shopping episode. I suggested the car shopping. Mental did the picks of what we are looking for, or kind of our topics, and then he decided that we are going to shop for each other. So we have a whole bunch of links.
Throw
for
another
people.
wrinkle in there. It was getting too formulaic.
Pretty much, yeah. So we have a bunch of different topics. We picked cars for each other. We went for, so there is from Chris for Mental, and then from Chris for me. And then we decided, so Chris and I were finding some fun cars. So we decided to make a to me from me category because they didn't show anywhere else. How do you want to break this up, guys? Do you want to do
Whatever.
Do you want to look at all of the first topic to see what we've got so we can kind of like stay within the topics, or how you want to do this?
I think that's going to be a lot of sharing screen bouncing around. I think we might
Yep.
need to go one category at a time. Like Chrissy, why don't we give our gifts to Mental?
Okay.
Let's do that. How about
Okay.
that?
All right.
I
So you
guess-
want me to open all my mentals, and then okay, great.
So I can start us off here and just with things I think Mental would like. I just need to pop this out of the browser. There we go. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, now I can share a screen. So Mental, you mentioned you wanted something maybe for Drag Week or for like Woodward Dream Cruise, right? And I said,
Something
what do I
that
know?
none of us would ever like aspire to, not because we don't like it, but it's just not our jam.
Well,
yes.
This might be your jam.
Oh, that is
This
totally
is
my jam.
we see. Yeah, I saw this and thought of you. Now we're sorry for those who are audio. We're gonna have to be very descriptive. This is a 1967 El Camino 420 cubic inch 4-speed. It is bright yellow. It is 25 grand. It is on Racing Junk, and this person,
shiny. It's in
it's a
pretty
in
good
nice
condition.
shape. It's
Yeah.
a big
This
shiny
is a
yellow
wonderful build.
El
Yes.
Camino with a big block and a little fuel cell and twin batteries in the trunk and a cage.
Ooh,
And-
that's a his and hers shifter, or the just the multi gear lever shifters.
But it's still got the ribbon speedo in the back.
Oh
And
yeah.
the dash is yellow. And I just said, like, man, this has got
Oh,
Mental written
yeah.
all over it,
Yes. That is
right?
fantastic. Oh, and it's just down in Phoenix.
It's in Phoenix. It's a small block G-force 4-speed transmission, long shifter inline, 12-bolt rear, 48 gears with a spool, advanced clutch, 14.5 compression ratio on the FJE pistons, 690 horsepower at 7,200 RPM, has a dyno sheet for it.
Ooh, a
25
small
grand.
block winding up to 7,200. That is intimidating. Brave. Yes. That will scare you a bit. Wow. That is, damn it. I feel like every other thing I picked is going to be a letdown. That is pretty.
Well, so mine's a letdown because mine is not nearly that fun. All right, so we're going with Woodward. Is that where we're
I
headed,
guess
right?
I was trying to open multiple of these. I just didn't have them done yet. So Chrissy, why don't you give one and then I'll go back and go through some other
That's
ones I found.
that's
for
I was
Mental.
I figured we'll just go on whatever topic you've got. I'll just give my
Yeah.
car as well. So we're going with the Woodward. So I was looking at vintage cars that are unique. That mine is not this cool, but I have sharing screen. Where is the sharing screen? There it is. Okay, sorry, you have to go through
Or
all
we'll
of
get rid
this.
of this
Chris can
later.
do it if you can't.
We will. Nope. I got it. Okay,
you
so
do.
we have a 1951 modified Studebaker Champion two-door sedan. Looks like it has some racing numbers. Kind of interesting. This is from Bring a Trailer. It went for 11 grand, which is totally reasonable. I was just going for something different. So
It totally is. And for
It's a-
those that might know something about Studebakers but don't have it all like mapped out, this is the generation of Studebaker from the first Muppet movie.
Yeah, it's a bullet nose Commander coupe, and according to the description that Chrissy just scrolled by, it has
I
a
know.
400
I was looking for the picture. Sorry, there you go.
Yeah, 400 cubic inch Chevy, 700 R4, 9-inch Ford rear end. Yeah,
Black primer finish. Looks like it has some racing parts on it as well. Yeah, something different. Chris obviously wins this category, but I just thought,
Okay, because El Camino speaks to my heart, but
right,
this is so. I guarantee you're the only one of these things that rolls up.
right,
Oh yeah,
Some,
and then you
something
could spend
different.
the entire
Oh, it's got a
Woodward
fuel
cruise
cell.
going, a bear in his natural habitat, Studebaker. That is really cool. Oh, it's
Something
got a
different.
video too.
There we go. All right.
Damn
What's
it.
next? What?
next one I had was for dirt tracking. Sure, you want to go dirt tracking, I think, right? I mean, there's got to be something dirt tracking.
Like I wanted to try like one of those Hornet class, which this one's kind of cheating because I still want to do that, and I'm going to. I keep saying, but one of these times, I'm
I
absolutely.
decided you're not going to do that.
Nope. We decided.
I decided you're going to go Legends Racing.
Nice.
Woo! Yes.
Here's
Nice.
a 1937 Chevy Legends race car.
That's pretty.
13 grand in Kentucky, selling due to health and personal. So you spent all the world building this new car from the chassis up. You won't find a nicer Legends car. Doesn't say much more about it, but it looks great.
I
And
would argue he's right. You're probably not going to find a nicer Legends car. That one's really because I'm always looking for those for reasons.
yeah, it's red. It's got a big number 1 on it. It's got no hood. It looks like a Legends car. And I used to have so much fun with these on iRacing. They were way better than I thought they were going to be, which made me think that they were interesting.
Well, it's
Yeah.
a Yamaha 1000 cc. You get the inline transmission. It's
Yeah.
Toyota modified rear axles, and
They seem easy to work on, pretty durable, cheap, easy on consumables. This seems like a great way to go. And this is so cheap. Like you can actually go racing more often.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That is dope.
I'm going to
Wow.
roll into the next one. All right, Chrissy, do you have one of these too?
Why? Yeah, I got
Do you have one of these?
two.
Oh, okay, great.
What? I got two. Okay, so we decided I have two different types of racing that you can do in your dirt car. We have a 1985 Camaro stock car
Because
for
America.
$4,500. It is shiny black and seems kind of fun. It's less an engine and clutch, which I neglected to realize, but it's got a whole lot of new stuff. Car setup could go dirt or asphalt. That one's fine. It's also only has
Less
one picture.
engine and clutch. Like I don't know people with small blocks laying around.
Sure. Well, it's close to. Well, it's close. It's on the right side of the world for
It's,
you.
yeah,
It
Yuma.
is.
That's right.
Yes.
Man.
Right. Okay. So you can have that one, or we have another one. Hold on. I'm trying to find the screen here. That's not what you want to see at all. Hold on a second. That's my
Bad
board-
podcasting.
I
Man,
I
apologize.
can go with
It's
mine.
nope.
My co-hosts are knocking this one out of the park because I'm feeling well. Actually, some of these.
No, we've got lots of time.
Go
Come on.
with. There we go. These are the ones like Uncle Dave does, and you got to have a trailer full of like 17,000 different spring combinations. 'cause
Oh,
that's
it
the
comes
thing.
with that. I don't know how much
wow.
this is because it's listed as $27, which it's not.
I guess
So I don't
I'm
know how
guessing
much it is.
27K.
Straight as an arrow,
a
complete
dirt-
salad.
It's a dirt late model. That's what.
Oh,
that's what
thank you.
matters.
I have no idea what
Nobody
this is.
knows what that means as a late model, but
Unless you play an
Nice.
iRacing, because they have these on iRacing.
Okay, well, this comes out with 2 motors, all spare parts, which is a ton, a 32-foot triple axle Hallmark trailer. Trailer is 98, but it's in good shape. Way too much stuff to list. So I still have no idea how much it is, but seems like a pretty good deal if you get a car and some parts and a trailer.
Oh yeah.
And it's probably not a moon trailer.
Oh, definitely not a moon trailer. Yeah.
All right.
No,
There's my
that's
dirt
that's
cars.
probably like a double stacker that you have to tow behind a tour bus.
Meh.
Yep. Or dually. All right.
Oh,
I
What's
want
next?
next is a car for the Lemons Rally for you.
Ooh,
That's
okay.
all.
Oh, I have
Now I
such a
wanted
good one.
something. I
Ah.
wanted something that was going to be, a good highway car, but also a medium chance of breakage, and especially if it does break, you are screwed. But if it doesn't, and there's again a half a chance that it's not going to because of what it is, you are going to be so cool and so comfortable, and the only one guaranteed to have one of these. And this is the cheapest one I've ever seen in this country that runs and drives. So we have here a 1998 Toyota Century. Now, for those that don't know what
What?
a Century is, this was a car only
Oh.
sold in Japan.
It's from
This
the
is,
bargain barn.
yep, this is typically this is what the Emperor of Japan and the royal family get
Yeah.
driven around in.
like
Also,
the regular people
Yakuza
can't buy
bosses.
these. You have to be somebody special
Yeah,
to go get
Yakuza
one.
bosses, like
Corporate
like
CEOs.
corporate CEOs, right? So this one is, of course, black and in gray, 77,000 miles, running project car, engine runs, large crack in dash pad, windows are inoperable and paint fading. But it's
I
a
mean,
rally
you
car.
can't
But
tell
look
the
at it.
paint. It's beautiful.
Well, the paint on these when they're good is some of the best in the world. They
Okay,
That's
they-
actually
they s-
Merle Martin, aka Judge Phil, did an article on this, I believe, for Auto Week on the construction of the Century and the level of prep and paint that goes into this. I bet you hit this with a buffer and you could get it back to
Probably.
just spotless.
Right
one of
hand
their
drive.
Yeah, because it's Japan. But one of
Got
their
it.
standards is when you as a very fancy person get out of the back of this car because you're driven around in it, you don't drive it.
No.
The C pillar that's painted black should be so shiny and good that you can check your tie
Shut
in the
up.
reflection on the C pillar.
Shut up.
Nope, that's
So,
legit.
Can I see more
That's
pictures?
legit.
Go, go, go. Oh,
There's
there's
only
only
four
four
pictures.
pictures. Oh,
Well, you can look
where
up
did you
Toyota
get
Century.
this?
This is a
Duncan
hell of a deal.
Oh my
$4,100.
gosh. Let's go get
4,100
this.
bucks.
I want to
Yes.
go buy this.
Because
What?
these
So-
things run forever, like run well. They just
Let's-
don't break.
But you can
Okay.
see how this would be a bit of a throw of the dice on a Lemons Rally as to how this is going to do. But if it worked, you'd be thrilled,
Wow.
right? Okay.
I'm impressed.
Free themed, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're
All
just
right.
Yakuza or ties, and yeah, it's fine.
Mine is super fun. You're going to show up and you want to be the shoutiest person in the you're going to start this when there's a parade, you're going to be in front because this guy is amazing. This is a 1970 Chevy fire truck.
Oh yeah.
It is faded to pink at this point for the most part.
Yes, it is. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh,
This is it's like a C70. It's like a Kodiak.
Yeah. And it's got the 10 lug
why is my
wheels?
screen doing this?
Those are 10 lug wheels.
Top right of the picture.
No,
Chris,
it's
see the little
just
arrows.
it's yes.
Actually,
it's
if you click
like-
on the pictures, there's also arrows that come up on either side. You can scroll through
There we
on
go.
the
Yes.
center right. But you've got to go
doing
back to
this
share screen
with
so you
only
can
having
share
one.
screen.
I know. Because when you have one screen, and I'm using a touchpad, you lose all
Yeah,
the
you give
crap.
up-
So
you give up a lot
this
of
is
stuff.
the thing that I'm trying to do. Okay, great. So now we have a 1970 Chevy fire truck. It is. We do have some more pictures about it.
And clearly they paid the money and got that pro membership because they've got 10 pictures. and
10
this is amazing.
pictures. Yes.
Oh, of course it's a stick.
So
Looks pretty
it's-
rust free.
you're
really
It's got a
yeah.
lovely
Where are you
patina.
going? It's from Michigan. No, it's in this. There's a lot of these things that are from racing
Oh,
trucks
it's that
that are
one
listed.
guy.
in-
Yeah,
at
that-
Cadillac,
yeah, it's
Michigan.
this one
Yeah.
guy. Yeah, so it is an automatic.
It's a Loberville is what it says on the side of it, but that
It is running and driving. So yeah. Thought you'd be this. You're gonna arrive in style, and people are gonna know you're coming. And
if
you
not,
can put
you
fires
ring
out.
the alarm.
yeah, you can put fires out. I have another one actually. If you don't like that one, I also found you a 1981 Alfa Romeo for sale. This is on Craigslist. This is
there's
local.
your throw of the dice.
This is,
Actually,
yeah,
no, that's not a throw of the dice. You're not finishing the rally in a 71 Alpha.
it runs. Perfect car for restoration. Runs. So not really sure what that means. It looks like it's in a yard, but if you don't like a fire truck and you
I'm
want
still
something
seeing
smaller,
I'm still seeing the fire truck. Can you bring up the picture of the Alpha?
oh, that's a shame. Yep, I can.
Because I just shared it. You shared the one.
I just shared the one. I apologize.
No, it's all
Here's
good. It's all
here's your
good.
other one. You can have a Alfa
Ooh.
Romeo.
Whoa. Okay. For this cut now, granted, it's in Jersey. but
Right.
For
So that's why, because I was
$2,500,
searching Craigslist near me.
Hey Tom, I hope you're listening to this episode because this could be your next bad decision.
He has enough of those.
No, and in a 81, it says perfect car for restoration. Runs. Hmm.
Okay, that's saying a lot
Runs.
for an Alpha, and it's got a hard.
It's black, but with some red panels, brown
Thank you.
interior, wooden steering wheel. It looks a little rough. It's parked really, really close to a fence, which is usually not a good
No,
sign.
I think isn't that a trailer?
It might be. It's in a yard.
It's
in a
clearly in
yard.
somebody's
It's from New
backyard. Yeah,
Jersey.
this got rolled back into. Yeah, this
Mhm.
is a. Don't pull the carpets up when you go to look at it.
Yeah.
And
You don't need to
runs
know.
might be
Runs.
runs when parked. But I like the fire truck too, but I just stumbled on this one, so I had to add it.
Love it. That is.
So the next one I've got for you, Mental, I saw and I said, how can I give this a category? And I thought, you know what? How
You
about
made your own category.
I did my own category. This one is terrible idea daily driver that you would love, but it's a terrible idea to daily this thing. So
And it's categorized. I see the heading because the link is hidden under if I win the lottery, I will buy you this, which is
that's
great
the
because
next
that
one.
means
No, that's the
I
next
can't
one.
afford it.
No, that's the next one. This is different.
Oh,
This
okay.
is terrible idea daily driver.
What is
this?
No, that is awesome idea for daily driver. This is fantastic.
This is a red Rotsau Red Pig Mercedes W109 replica of a 1970 Mercedes 300 SEL 6.3. It's red. It's got no bumpers. It's got it needs
I
some
hate
bigger
that they
CV
blacked out
lights.
the chrome, but I love
Yeah.
everything else.
Needs the chrome back on it.
Yeah.
But it's got all the right vintage graphics. It's
Huh.
got the right stance. It's got the
so
huge
low.
fender flares.
Oh wow.
It is so low. But it's
There
still
is-
got the luxury interior.
What is this
still-
category?
So this is the and it is the
It's
actual
still
6.3.
actual 6.3 with 300 horsepower and 435 foot-pounds of torque. This thing was a monster in its day. This
It's a
one looks pretty
monster now.
cool. And for 36.8 that it got bid to on Bring a Trailer, I was like, you know what? Mental would roll that on a daily basis.
I totally would, and I bet the air conditioner still works.
Yeah, but you put the big chrome grill back on it instead of this
Oh,
black one.
Absolutely. This
Totally necessary.
when you hit the lottery and you buy me this, just deliver it to the to Judge Gates' garage, and I'm going to say like leave everything alone, just make the chrome shiny again, and he will look at it and go, yeah, that's right, that's exactly how that thing needs to look, and then I will simply fly to Hayward and drive it back, and have to stop halfway for a new set of rear tires because I am going to boil them off.
Yeah.
Did we
And
lose?
Awesome.
That wasn't the win. This is what I'll buy you if I win the lottery.
Oh shit! Okay, that's just
that was the
terrible.
bad daily
All right.
driver category.
That's a
I'll
great
show you-
idea.
I'll show
you're
you the
wrong.
leather one
It's
too.
a great idea for a daily driver.
This is the if I win the lottery, I'll buy this. Yeah, because it's expensive.
Oh yeah,
This-
there we go.
This is a 93 928 GTS 5-speed. It's the last iteration of the 928. So it's got the
Yes,
smoother
the
bumpers, and
500
the
horsepower.
right? And it's one of the very few 5-speeds they made of the GTS.
I don't want this.
And it's
we
got the
getting
proper-
this?
It's got the wing
No,
on the back. of
this
it,
is
Mental
for
yeah.
would have
Mental.
this. Okay, good.
This is for
Okay.
Mental because Mental likes 928s a lot. He's
I
only had
do.
ones that
I
kills him. He should get a
too.
proper 928, and this one
I
is
should
it
get a proper 928.
like perfect
Oh,
shape.
and it's cocoa matte, so it's owned by an
Oh.
enthusiast.
Yeah, perfect shape, 5-speed, last version.
Ooh, and he drove it.
Yeah,
I don't know, 126K
Still-
proper.
still 90 grand, but
Yeah, only 30 times what I paid for the last one,
right.
or
Exactly.
90 times what I paid for the parts car.
Do you have
That is cool.
do you have a drift car for mental?
No, couldn't find one.
Oh, I have one.
Great.
Oh,
So that was
I.
one of the other things is we're not drifters on purpose. Oh, it is
It is the
So
yes,
what Chrissy
1967.
has found is the 67 Mustang that they put the Turbo 6 Nissan motor in for Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
It's
Well,
in
this is the
Norway, so it's a
prop
little
car. This-
far.
This may not be the.
I feel like I remember reading an article about this one. I feel like it
Says it has a V8.
Oh, nope, 430 stroker. All right, I'm okay with that too.
Mm,
That's going to drift it. Oh, it's
Okay.
going sideways.
it's from Norway, so
Yeah.
you
It
know.
is a 60. Let's begin. We have to be descriptive here.
Go
Black
ahead.
67 Mustang with white stripes, fastback, big wheels.
It says green paint.
Well, it looks black in the little screen I'm looking at. So, but it
Yeah.
could be green. Sure, very dark.
No,
green.
Chrissy's right. It is. It's dark moss green. So it's yeah. Period. Correct.
I mean,
Oh, that's
the
a good
wheels are a
picture.
little much, but I guess as you for Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, that was what you needed. They're a little too
Mhm.
big otherwise. But
They are 19-inch Volk Racing VRGT 7s featuring polished lips.
This is a lot.
yeah,
But it's sold
that
for
would
70
definitely drift.
76 grand for something that may have some notoriety to it. You don't have to buy it. It's fine.
That would be a terrible daily driver, not because it's a terrible car, but because of the things that I would do and get into trouble with it.
All right, in order to keep this moving, I think bouncing back and forth is taking a long time. I think we
Okay.
might need to go
All right. So Chris,
in a bit more
you
order.
you picked out stuff for Chrissy.
I did. And if you give me a minute, I can put these into a browser window that I can then share really easily. So just
this is the joy of this show. So Chrissy and I came up with this idea via text, and then like adding these categories that I wasn't expecting. The if I win the lottery, so I feel bad because I'm not prepared for that. But
You
I
added
love that. Of course, Chris goes shopping for Chrissy.
I mean,
well, yeah,
I thought we were supposed to shop for each other.
we are.
Yes.
And we did.
Okay.
And I've almost got all of these three up. And
I can always go through the okay, you ready?
one of them's no longer available.
Aw.
Oh, we just did this not long ago to make sure
It
that they
was
were
yesterday.
available.
I know.
Darn.
Well,
right, well, I'll just share
clearly
my
you
screen. So-
chose correctly because someone else bought it.
Okay, what do you
right.
got for me?
So, Chrissy, this is for Lemons Rally. This is a 1991 Honda Beat. This is a
Ooh.
tiny little Honda.
But
But
a K car.
I have to go somewhere in a Lemons
Yep.
rally.
Yeah, but that's the point. Lemons Rally has to be some
You
suffering.
drove
involved.
to the Cape in an NSX. This has more storage space.
Mm.
It's close. So this is it's like a tiny little like half scale NSX. It's a Honda. It's a
I like that the
660
guy's putting his finger over the license plate, but it's like most of the car.
Yep. It's a 660cc 3-cylinder. It is a little tiny convertible. There's the engine. There's the trunk.
Where's the trunk? Oh, no. There's no
Yeah.
trunk.
Yeah.
You could definitely fit a
Suffering
briefcase
is
in
involved.
there. That totally
There-
could hold a briefcase.
It'll be
Just a
reliable.
briefcase.
Yep. It'll be reliable. It
I
won't
like the
be great
floor
on the highway.
mats. They have
Yep.
like Chinese characters on them.
It's got little like anime characters. Yep. But
Yeah.
it's a silver Honda Beat. It's got a hard top. It's got black
Okay.
wheels.
The
It
hardtop is kind of rare.
I'm not
It
sure I
is.
love this, but okay.
Well, you're not supposed to like a Lemons Rally car. You're not supposed to say, yeah, that's a good car. You're supposed
Okay,
to
okay.
worry about some suffering. All right. And the other one I thought was Chrissy needs a car for being at the beach. So
got
what
a
do you
beach?
That's
need?
not it. You could totally drive that onto the beach.
This is the beach car. This is a 1976
Oh.
850cc Mini that's been converted to a beach car. It's got
Holy
the
crap.
entire sides are open
And they
like
have
a
like
Fiat
beach
Jolly.
chairs.
And yes, it has
That's what I was
strung
to say.
beach
It's
chairs
a
and
British
handles.
Fiat Jolly.
What? Oh,
But
it's
it's got
so cute.
4 seats. It's wide open, no doors, no. It's got windshield.
And
and
no
back window, and that's
option
it.
for doors. Like they're
Yep.
all the
Permanently no
pillars are gone.
doors.
Yes.
But it's got like woven rattan chairs.
and when
It's
not
got
at the beach, it's a
grab bars.
it's a pit vehicle.
Yeah,
That is a cool
but it's
pit vehicle.
otherwise an
Oh.
850cc mini. That's
I
just super
love
cool.
it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Where is
You're
that?
welcome.
Where is it located?
It's currently bid to $15,000.
Which
It
means it
is
didn't sell.
in
Stafford,
Stafford,
Virginia.
Virginia. No, I think
Wow.
yeah. Is it still for sale? No, it did not sell at 15,000. But
No.
if you had a beach house at like an island somewhere, how cool would this thing be?
That is
Right?
100% cool.
I mean, I'm a little concerned about the wheel, the amount of it doesn't get high centered and stuck. But
Oh, you don't go on the sand. You just
oh,
drive
okay.
it around. You drive it around your beach town to
Yeah.
go places.
Oh,
Cape.
yeah. Right. Okay.
That's
I
what
don't
it's
know. I don't
for.
know if it'd be legal in the Cape. They're pretty
Oh, sure it
strict.
would.
Doesn't
No, it's a
matter. It's got
car.
plates
It's
on
an
it.
old,
They
it's an
can.
old car with plates
Yeah.
on it. And the last one that's not there anymore, I can just tell you what it is. It was
Yes.
a medium green metallic Porsche 911 Targa 4 GTS, like a fairly new one.
Yes.
It was a Targa 4
Yes.
GTS. It was
Why am I
good,
getting this?
997 or
with a brown interior. No, 992
very nice.
Targa 4 GTS. If we win the lottery,
Oh, okay.
it
Okay.
was just the right color of green that you like.
Well, and I love those new Targas with the whole sliding glass.
Yeah, it's one of those.
That's dope.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Who's next?
Did you get your Classy AF car?
I didn't get to that one yet, but I mean, I can if we
Well,
want me to continue down this
yeah.
road. I only have two.
That way we
These
get-
are-
You only have two for me?
no, this is for me. Yes, only those are the only two. I had three, honey, but one of them was the
Oh.
Porsche that wasn't there
You're
anymore.
terrible.
I'm terrible. God.
Oh. I have so many cars for you. I have
Well, we're
multiple
running out of
options.
time. We can't do them all.
Oh.
That's the problem.
That's awesome.
What?
I know. Well, all right. So I'll just do these quick. These are the three that I thought would be fun for me.
You got three cars for you.
I got three for you too.
Right.
What's wrong? Okay, so the first one, this is the Classy AF. Like there is not a classier looking car than this. Fight me. Ready? This is a 1971 Mercedes 280 SE coupe. And the coupe is the part that matters. I mean, look at this thing. It is blue. It is just so good. And the interior is like nothing else on these.
That is Classy
Just-
AF.
Right? Just the tan leather, the brown carpets, all the wood in the dash, the chrome, just the Art Deco kind of instrumentation. I think this is
Meh.
You're not going to get
Classy
anywhere
AF.
in a hurry, but it doesn't matter because you're going to look better than everyone else.
Well, this one's a V8 at least. It's a 3.5 liter V8. It's not one of the 6-cylinder ones.
True,
But-
it's a 3.5 liter V8, but it is basically also carrying a tank.
Yeah.
The old stacked headlight Mercedes, we've talked about this. They are just so great.
Yeah.
If you,
but this
there was a, I'm
$100,000, so it's probably not realistic. So
going to say a
I found
Netflix show called The Kaminsky Method, where Michael Douglas plays an aging previous actor, and he drives a
Yeah.
cabriolet version of one of
craziness.
these.
So the cabs are even more money. So then I thought, well, that's unrealistic. How about a sedan? So I found this on Bring a Trailer, 1969 300 SEL 6.3,
Oh, it's 20 grand.
sold for 20 grand. This is for an actual 6.3.
What? There it is, because it's Canadian, but an actual 6.3
Who
sold for
cares?
20 grand. Oh my God, I would own that.
An actual 6.3, and it's blue with the tan interior with the cocoa mats, and the wood trim looks like it's in
Look at
good
that
shape.
RPM gauge right there in the center,
Right.
because
This-
aftermarket.
I mean,
that
this
is
car
gorgeous.
was
Not
the hot
aftermarket,
rod.
afterthought.
This was like the S63 of its day.
Yes.
This thing again, so cool. These cars.
You
if I
could,
had
that
room,
would eat up Freeway with the same capabilities as the mighty AMG. Just
yeah, this was designed
all
across
day.
continents in 1970 is the
Yes.
the difference. But
Mhm.
again, cool AF.
Yes.
And
Oh,
last,
that is
I've
sexy.
always wanted one of these, and this one might actually be reliable. This is a 1988 Range Rover. But it's got an LS3 swap.
What?
Yep. This one was it's a 88 Range Rover Classic short wheelbase, but this one has been fully restored and inside and out. It
Proper
looks
interior with the
gorgeous.
piping.
Right, but it's got that LS3. So, okay. That's going to be all right. LS3 6-speed automatic to the stock axles and things.
Well,
And,
because the axles and everything on those Range Rovers were never the issue. No one ever had an
Yeah.
axle fail on their Range Rover.
no. But one with an LS3,
Yes.
that'd be cool.
I'm going to climb this mountain, not spill my tea, and I'm going to do it in 4.7 seconds
Yeah.
with the sound of freedom.
Yep.
That is gorgeous.
Okay.
Okay, I think I'm ready for Chris's cars from me to Chris.
Dope.
Okay.
Right. Okay. I am so first we're going for Woodward. What kind of older car can I find that you are excited to drive down the street? It is a 1973 Citroen SM. This one
it's red. It's 16
red.
grand.
It has a
Okay.
couple pictures,
Ooh.
thank goodness.
Ooh, those interiors, nice.
And the interiors on those are so swanky.
It's
This
not
one's-
Yeah.
it's not as bad as ours,
And
but
that's
It's
a
a
manual.
It's a manual, which is good.
Yes.
it needs
It's
a
in
little
far better condition than ours was.
washing. It needs some washing. A little bit of
One
clean
wiper
up.
is up. I'm not so sure about that.
it's okay. It's okay. It needs a
It's
little help.
rough.
This one's in Texas. believe
It
it,
had a
clear
Texas
Texas title.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Yes.
What do you think the odds are that this is the person that bought yours?
Ours
It's
was
possible.
brown. You
Yes,
think?
I know, but the guy I sold it to had a couple others.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was like the SM guy.
Yeah, rear fenders. Yeah, it's missing some hubcaps. Runs great. No noise, no smoke. They bought the 5 Spears. So, all right. So Citroen SM. If you don't like the, next is Lemons Rally. You
Ooh,
can
yes.
have a can you see this?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay, good.
yes.
A
Now,
93.
that
This
checks
is-
every Lemons Rally box. You
this is-
show up and you're already in the lead.
This is down the street,
provided it makes it to the starting line.
right?
This is near Matt's house. This is
It's
in
not
Gilbertsville.
far away.
Yeah.
It ran good and shift fine until head gas blew. Well, that's okay. We'll just put a head gasket.
But it is
No
a
problem.
gold. I'll describe
Thank
it
you.
as a
Thank you, thank you.
1993 Jaguar XJS convertible. It is gold with a brown top. Looks pretty straight and rust free and clean. And this would be a 4-liter 6-cylinder, not the V12.
Oh, look
unfortunately.
at this interior.
Oh,
with
those are
those
crappy
seat
covers.
covers.
Ugh,
Yeah.
Oh,
those
is
seat
that what
covers
is that
gotta-
is?
those
I thought
seat
that
covers
was.
gotta
Oh,
go.
okay. Never mind. I thought it
No,
was.
But,
you
I
sit
mean-
on the crappy cracked leather
I
before
see
you
that.
besmirch
Yeah.
a Jaguar with that. This is what is known in the vernacular as a hand job Jaguar.
Why is that, Matt?
Oh.
Tell us more.
Oh.
So there's 2 movies. There's an there's an old Christina Applegate film called Runaway, and then there was another one called Crazy People with Dudley Moore, and where he is trying to be truthful in his advertising, and one of them literally is Jaguar XJ for men who want hand jobs from women they don't know. And that was the advertising campaign. And of course it just cracks off. And yes, it's the hand job Jaguar.
So I have thank you for that.
Now she'll look at every one of those XJ rag tops. And be
I
like,
don't care. I don't like them. So
ruined.
here is another car for you in case you didn't like the Jaguar to take on Lemons Rally. It is
It's a P38 Range Rover. It's
It
a
is.
2000 Range Rover. I like that it says clean, no issues, and recently inspected, but yet I can see the air suspension is deflated.
You could drive this car daily. It says so in the ad, even though
says
they can't spell leak correctly.
Nope, has a AC Freon leak like the vegetable.
Like the vegetable.
Also needs a brake booster for brakes, but part is included. And the exhaust. needs
Exhaust
attention.
needs an attention.
Oh, other than that, everything's good.
Well,
except the paint is peeled in some spots.
Yeah,
but-
exactly.
Now,
And
my
if the
favorite
boat
part-
is stall
Stall.
available.
Yep, stall STOL. My favorite part is the can of Raid insect spray on the back bumper.
As it is sitting
I
on
mean-
ramps. It is
On
sitting
ramps.
on drive up ramps.
I mean, Lemons
poor
Rally,
car.
though.
Oh, and
So-
it's a Lemons Rally car, and you have to print every page of this ad and bring it with it. And this
Yes.
it's just they're asking optimistically the sum of $2,000 for this fine machine.
Correct.
Put on
It
your
is a
biohazard
4.6 though,
suit
which
before
is nice.
before you clean that one. That one's
And it
gonna
is a
need
2000, so it's the Bosch engine management system, not the Lucas one. So, that's good.
That's fantastic.
All right. Of those, Chrissy, I think I take the Range Rover because it doesn't need head gasket yet.
Yeah, but still, yes,
Yeah.
yes, it sounds great.
Does. All right. Who's up?
All right, I believe it is my turn, and it is. I've got everything open. It's just going to take me a handful of seconds here to get it all ready to go. So, we'll just start out real quickly. Something that fell by the wayside was drifting cars. Chrissy had hers, and so what I need to do here. All right, why are you being so troublesome with the ad? All right, so for Chrissy. Now, oddly enough, I ended up kind of getting the same thing, but for Chrissy, this is your drift car, right? $6,900, nice, but you get an LS swapped 350Z. That is, and you're getting everything with this one. They've been drifting these for 15 years. They went to BMW, so they're getting rid of all the stuff. So it's a straight chassis, which means by drifting standards. All of it Formula Drift legal. It's got all of the Go Fast parts, the kits where they get the front tires even farther out of there, fuel cell, all of the LSDs. There are literally a ton of spares that Chris will
Wow.
be using to
Wow.
replace.
I'm going to
every
need all
weekend.
of them because I don't know. Oh, it's got a pink interior though.
Yes.
I'm not a drifter, so I would have to pick up said hobby to be a drifter.
Right.
But
But it's an LS swapped 350Z. It's going to do it
okay.
organically. So it is ready to go.
Fantastic. Okay. And for how much?
$6,900, and you're getting
there's no
stacks
engine,
of
though?
spares. I believe Yes,
Oh, no,
okay.
there's no engine.
comes complete with spares,
don't need an
minus motor
engine.
and transmission, but it's set up for LSs, and those are $500 at the junkyard.
Okay. Do my
All
own
right.
engine swap before I can drive my race car. Cool.
Well, you just got to drop
swapping
an
is easy.
LS into what
Only-
is already there. All right, Woodward. Now, I did deliberately go completely outside of your comfort zone for this.
Sounds
one.
great. Is it a
But-
Citroen?
Probably, but I don't think you're going to hate it. And
Okay.
let me get the, I got
Won't hate it.
Talk about a way to sell it, Mental.
I
don't
won't
think
hate
you're
it.
gonna hate it.
All right. So I'm going to do this. We got to go with the share
So
screen again.
you were joking about us being bad at sharing to share screens.
Okay.
That's
So
why I thought it was better to kind of get them all stacked
What
up. and
is
then you
yes,
go.
this?
right here. This.
Wow.
Beautiful. 'cause
Sajid
it's
would be
the
proud.
Woodward Dream Cruise 1977 Lincoln Continental.
Oh.
Look at that.
Oh.
That is opulence.
I didn't realize her
It's-
uncle died and left her this.
I didn't realize.
Right.
No. I didn't
So this is
realize.
Folks at home, you were looking at a maroon 1977 Lincoln Continental. It is
Coupe.
beautiful. And of course, all of these links are going to be in our show notes. Okay, 31,000 believed actual miles with a 460 that is probably making maybe 160 horsepower. Look at that engine. All right,
Not
but
gonna be
It's
able to go
very
up a hill.
clean. The interior is. I mean, it is.
Great. It's Grandpa.
Poorhouse.
Gr-
Oh, is it
fresh.
brown or red? It's
that is
It's
brown.
brown.
No, the interior is
It's
a proper
brown.
Sajid
Mm.
brown.
Yes, Ajib would be pleased with this.
Yes.
I
And
might
if you're
give it to
worried
him.
about trunk space, you could
don't
put
be.
that Honda in this trunk.
Lando roof,
Uh-huh.
Mm,
white wall
Yes.
tires, a lot
Okay.
of chrome.
15-inch white wall tires in a car that is the size of your Escalade.
I'm
A
can
not.
two-door
land-
car that is the
Thank
length
you.
of your Escalade.
Land aircraft
Thank
on the
you.
hood and trunk.
Yes.
Okay.
So if
This is
you're
not what I
cruising-
would have picked, but okay.
But if you're going to cruise, why not do it in style?
On a
Okay.
sofa.
On
Great.
on an
paint
electric
looks
leather
great.
sofa. Yeah. All right.
All right. Do you
so-
have anything else?
Well, and I do. I have some other things. So, but anyway, so that was the
Mhm.
Woodward. We got the drift car. For the Lemons Rally,
Did you find me something with a freaking trunk? I'm gonna have to get one of
Well,
those baskets.
Yes, but and you're not gonna like that either.
Oh, come
I'm still sharing.
on! Why are
Well,
cars
but
that I like?
it does have a trunk. All right. Nope,
a
that
little
was
scared.
that's
But
Chris's.
lemons rallies have to involve some suffering. Come on.
They really
I would
do.
like to
Here
wear
she is. Here she
a
is.
set of clothes that are other one
So,
than what I'm wearing right
It
now.
Only
is
bring one pants.
interesting that both of us chose very tiny cars for your lemons rally.
Tiny cars.
But this is a 1951
It's so
Crosley Super, which is effectively an English motorcycle powered
Oh.
kit car.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
I mean, you think
It's-
that the beat is tiny and
Or
slow.
the how about the
Wow.
MG that we have in our driveway? How terrifying that is. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, there's an episode of the Grand Tour where
Oh no.
James May has a newer version of the Crosley,
Oh,
but
gosh.
this thing,
I am not taking that on a highway.
No, you'll
which
die.
exactly,
Yeah.
it's a lemons rally. You don't go on the highway.
Mhm. Okay.
Look at that though. It
Do you
even
want me
comes
to die?
with-
It's a
You're
great way
not
to
gonna
give
be going
Chrissy a
nearly
stroke.
fast enough to
I don't
die.
want to die.
I don't want to die. Now
I
the top on this looks like even more of an
don't. It looks
afterthought.
like a tent.
Yeah,
It looks like a piece of
more
like
of an afterthought than most British cars. But Crosley is not British; it's actually American. Who
Yes,
knew?
Oh.
used a British motorcycle engine. I believe
Yeah.
that one has a 4-cylinder in it though. Okay.
That's a big
Yes.
one.
Which I pointed in there that you would incidentally absolutely frigging win the lemons rally.
Sure.
You rock up in a Crosley.
if
All right.
I made it out of the parking lot.
Yes.
There's
Yes.
you got to roll the dice sometimes. Now
That
I
was a
cheated.
red Crosley with a white top and a red interior,
Mhm.
and that top was tragic. I mean,
Okay.
and it does look like it was built in a shed.
Yes.
Yes. Speaking of being built in a shed,
Oh goodness.
here's your dirt track car.
Okay.
So what we have
Already sponsored by Little Caesars. That's nice.
Hell yeah, I love Little Caesars.
So
Looks like it hasn't moved in a while.
It is, but it
Yeah.
is legal as a. It's got a 22R motor, got a roll cage, everything's ready, and it says modified for a demolition derby, which honestly
Oh.
feels tragic to me because this thing's probably got a couple more races in it. It's also sponsored by Parkview Middle School, which
What?
that's
Good.
important because it
Okay.
promotes education. $1,800 down
Okay.
in Fort Mojave, Arizona, because I think Google defaulted to going to the nearest
Okay.
to me vehicle for the
Yeah.
the modified on that one. Now, Chris,
He walked away.
He did. I know, and that
Hello. I'm here.
I also found you. Where'd that go? Damn it! I know I've got too many windows open right now. I
Mhm.
also found Chris a 350Z for drifting. Now, the
Okay.
slightly lower price,
Mm.
but
Not as pink. It just
not
is a flat
nearly as pink.
black.
This
Flat
is
black
his and
350Z.
hers.
Well, it's correct.
350Z.
Yeah,
Yep,
exactly.
RPF1 wheels.
And
Yeah.
it ran great until he hit a wall,
Mm.
which is probably why it's a bargain price. You can see he's got the front fender pulled
It is
off. But the
$4
reason
grand.
I picked this one for you is you'd totally have this fixed in a weekend.
Nice looking cage. Spec Z.
Yeah.
Well, cage is looking less nice when I see the A
Now,
bars.
You
but-
you talk about things that are valuable. Whoops. All right. I was trying to make a point by increasing that one. You see that thing right there.
the red
that-
box on the dash. What is that?
Yeah. That's a wired in transponder. Those things
Why
are
is it
worth
on
like
the dash?
$8
It's a terrible
grand.
place for it.
How does it tell you what you
Yeah,
need?
they're supposed to be down, but those are
Or
supposed
maybe
to be down
that's
by
a
the
turbo
road.
timer. Yeah. We found like 4 of those things this weekend at Jeff's shop. So all you have to do is straighten out those frame rails.
You know,
So
somehow a Cage Z that is maroon on the inside and black on the outside and has suede to the left frame rail. Somehow this seems like a familiar story.
You getting triggered?
I am getting a little triggered.
Oh no. Oh.
all right. Now I also, for your Woodward drift car or your Woodward Dream Cruise, I picked the same car. I thought you guys would really dig because it's
The Crosley? Yes.
no, the 77 Lincoln.
Oh, the Lincoln. Okay. Sorry.
Oh,
Okay.
so can I
Lemon
show?
trailers across.
I found myself a car.
Busted. Go for it.
For
I
what? What is it for?
Because
Woodward.
she just wants it. Oh, going back to your
Describe it.
roots.
This is
Sort
a
of.
1970 Volkswagen Beetle Volksrad, sold for 12 grand with a amazing. It's a amazing paint job of silver chrome.
I don't think that's
shiny.
silver. I think they clear coated over bare metal with some
Yeah.
gold leaf.
Yeah, kind of chop top, kind of
Yep. It's definitely a lowered Beetle, chop top, no front fenders,
right hand drive.
Cadillac tail lights on the seat
Which is very
pillars,
Volksrad-y.
no rear fenders either. Yeah, it's a Volksrad.
Oil
Absolutely.
cooler, because they're
Okay.
thinking.
Yeah.
I dig this.
Something out of the
Yeah.
ordinary, right?
The beam's been moved forward, way up forward from where its stock
Yeah.
location is, the front axle beam.
Oh,
those
look at
seats
those
are going to be incredibly
seats!
comfortable. They're just metal.
I
metal
didn't
low back
scroll this far.
seats.
Well, and it's in
Oh,
it's in
no.
Texas. There's no
It's gonna
way
be
you're
nice and
burning
quiet.
yourself on that.
It's gonna
Right?
be nice and quiet
Right.
and cold.
And comfortable and
Yep.
cold.
Until the
Okay.
summer, then you burn yourself.
All right, fine. So this is not a
I
great time.
like it. I like
Okay,
the
fine.
outside of it. No, I'm down. That makes
Okay.
that's
Well,
totally
I
dope.
don't know. I just passed by it and was like, oh, this is
All right.
interesting.
So again, trying to expand everyone's horizons. Chris, this is your Lemons Rally vehicle.
Uh-oh.
This is a 1942
Okay.
Ford pickup Army radio vehicle.
Yes, it is. Look at that.
So
Okay.
there is probably a 90% chance you will finish the rally on that one, but you will have to leave an hour before everyone, and you will have to still get there 2 hours after everyone, because your top speed is probably 40 miles an hour. And even then the braking is probably,
Yep.
just designed
It's
to be,
all OD green. It's got a nice jerry can there on the running board.
yeah,
It's
What's the percentage of death on this?
six cylinder flathead engine, manual
none
transmission.
unless you're standing in front of it, because it is going through whatever it hits
Slowly, but it'll make
very
it.
slowly.
Hey, it's a racing junk, and they have the pro membership because
Yeah.
there are
All
a bunch of
metals,
pictures.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is yeah.
Wow.
You best bring earplugs and patience.
I'm not going with you on that trip. Oh my gosh, that's the seat. Oh no.
Well, we can race between the Crosley and this, and it would be pretty close.
You will run over the Crosley with this.
See, and this would be a good support vehicle for the Crosley, because you wouldn't get bored. You would actually have to work to keep up with it. So,
There's a cat. There's Senna.
All
You can
right.
see on the video.
yes. Hello,
Hi,
Senna.
Senna.
All right. And finally, the dirt modified on this one, Chris, I found you a lovely dirt modified vehicle, some assembly required,
Oh no.
but it's because I believe in your abilities. So
Keep giving me broken cars.
Oh, what? There's nothing in it.
So this is a
boom.
it's a Ford F and Ranger
Yes,
that is like a stadium truck.
exactly. All, no windows. You just get chicken wire.
Oh, that's always so goes so well.
I mean, there.
Oh, it has been rolled.
Yeah,
Several
this is
times.
not great.
Mm.
I don't love this car.
It's got these big remote reservoir Fox shocks for
Yes.
long travel, but it's
Oh.
definitely been over a few times.
So it's a
this
a
thing.
pre-runner podium
Yep.
finisher, manual, and needs a little TLC to make race ready.
Yeah, you think?
How about start over?
You'll notice the intake for the engine is inside the cab,
Yep.
because that's what
Did
you
sound good. Hey,
Yeah.
that's what BMW does now. They pipe that intake sound right into the cab, so
Oh,
you get.
do. And
goodness.
see, and this is
performance.
analog version of that, so it's
Uh-huh.
fantastic. Yeah, but yeah, I'd take a
Vehicle's
two-
paid off. Good thing.
Okay.
Because you rolled it. It has no windows.
Only
Oh.
3 more payments to go.
I
No,
picked two.
baby. Oh man,
I picked two
Yeah.
more cars for myself. They're like
All
super
right.
quick.
And I'm down with that too. I'm gonna share this guy real quick. This is the one I picked for myself, inspired by something I recently saw in the Driven Garage, 1964. This is my Woodward dream car. I would restore the wood paneling. 64 Ford Galaxie Wagon. Look,
Yeah.
those
It's
taillights
red.
are so jet age.
Those
It's
are
the
like the
Country
same ones they
Squire.
have on the Falcon. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Country Squire, wood paneling, red, otherwise, all that chrome. This one's got patina, but the interior, the red vinyl interior with white piping is
Yes.
definitely nice. I like that big chrome and wood roof rack,
Mm-hmm.
the chrome strip along the dash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
It
getting
looks
some
nice from
respect in
afar
there.
away.
Well,
It should
and I
have
would I would leave the patina and the paint, but I would restore just the wood
Yeah.
because I don't know. I like
feel
that
like it
look.
needs a surfboard and a cooler on the roof.
Hell yeah, it does.
Totally needs a surfboard and a cooler. That's dope as all things. And finally, just something for myself for a Lemons Rally. And I'm not saying this won't happen actually, because the price is kind of right.
Oh no.
You
not
need more
supposed to-
projects.
I need more projects, but here we go. 1988 Lincoln stretch limo for a
Oh,
mere
executive.
$1,800. It has got
Didn't talk about-
272,000 miles, and the Lando roof is what we would call
Used
tragic.
to be a Lando roof.
Yes. right. Needs
And there's
air
nothing on the
suspension.
inside. Do we have pictures of the inside?
You know what? There it is. Kachiga.
Oh.
There's the bar. Everything you
Oh,
need.
It's a black L-shaped sofa. And
Oh,
actually, the
yeah.
interior looks less.
Never put a black light
frightening.
on this. It's
No,
fine.
no, no.
It's fine.
No one has
No
ever hung
amount-
out of that sunroof ever. That massive
yelled,
sunroof.
"Boo."
Sober. Maybe
Yep.
sober.
Yep.
Oh, this is disgusting.
Those are some. It's got like some 20-inch wheels on it. That
Oh, I
The
don't
low
like it.
profile
Tragic.
20 show.
I
but
don't like it.
I liked it.
Starts
Clean-
and drives.
Clean title. Still looking for it, but I can sign a bill of sale for now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's legit. Yep.
I mean, but look at that digital dash, though. That's pretty awesome. It's got like these
Yes.
numbers that are flashing. Oh,
Yeah.
that's terrifying. That's when you get syphilis by looking at it.
Gonosurfahiphilitis.
I like when
Uh-huh.
just standing close to it.
Yeah.
Are you done?
I am done. That is all.
I found two more. These are cars for me. I found a 1999 Renault Clio V6 trophy race car. Actually, it showed up on my feed today in my email.
Ooh.
It's
Yeah.
French. It's mid-engine French V6 hatchback.
And it's super cute. So I thought
it's
this
bright
probably a
green with red
rocket
accents.
ship too.
I thought it would be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same as the Renault 5 turbo.
Okay,
Well,
so that's a
those were a 4-cylinder turbo in the back. But the same concept is they take a tiny little
Mhm.
Renault hatchback, stick a hot
Yeah.
motor in the back, and
We're going to cram
Oh, good.
every French horse we can into the hatchback of this tiny little
Le
car.
cheval, beaucoup
Okay.
du cheval.
so I also found this
It
2000
looks like a shoe.
It looks, I was like, I wrote in the notes, what is this even? Like,
It looks like
So-
a shoe.
it is a
These
2000
were,
Corbin Sparrow EV.
Yes, these were designed to be city commuter cars because they seat one.
Yeah. They're
And it's
super,
in Michigan. Wow.
it's so cute. It's, yes, 3 wheels. It's got these dimples that are like a golf ball on like some parts of it.
Oh,
If I
wow.
saw this roll by,
those
I'd
are
be
co-
like, what
Those
is
are
even
Corvette
happening?
taillights. And yeah.
It's got a pizza butt trunk.
So it means you can put stuff in it. This is
Okay.
exactly what you need
As long
to
as
run
it's
down to the
narrow.
pizza place
Yes.
from your house.
Look, it's room for one. If somebody
Because
hits you, you
anyone
would
that
die.
has this won't have any friends. That's for sure.
Oh, the things you find on the internet. That was super awesome.
That is
Thanks
so
for playing
awesome.
along, friends.
Oh, this has been fantastic. We will absolutely have a link to all of these in our show notes. So do some joy scrolling yourself. Next time you're sitting on the John, click on our show notes and go through and look at all these silly, silly cars because
Well-
that was a ton of fun.
And well, now we got to pick your favorites. Like Mental, of all the ones we thought would be good for you, what's your favorite?
Oh, I'm taking that El Camino all day.
I mean,
No, you know what?
Good
No.
find.
No, I'm taking the AMG. No, I'm taking the AMG, the red pig, got to be true to myself.
Tough choice. Tough
Mm.
choice.
It is a tough choice, but the red pig and like, the El Camino would be like, oh, there's that redneck from up the street. The red pig goes, oh, there's Mental. because everyone's gonna come talk to you with the red pig. What
I'm
is
gonna
this?
I'm taking the beach car because that's amazing. I wish I had somewhere to drive it. I think it's awesome.
And you, Chris?
I don't know. So I'm just looking at what my options are. Crash Z, um, the Lincoln, the Jag with the blown head gasket,
Jag.
the Range Rover with the insect infestation. Like, you guys, I'm not letting you buy stuff for me. I'm picking one of those Mercedes that I picked up for
Buy
myself.
my own
No,
Mercedes.
that's
All
no,
right.
no, that's no good.
Get
I
your
did-
6.3, and then we'll race it against my 6.3.
well, and I'll race it in my Corbin and try to say, wait,
You like the Corbin, but you don't like the Honda Beat.
no, I don't like either. Why do you think I like tiny cars?
They're easy.
That Honda Beat. There was
Although
a,
I did, I
was
did
a,
show you a shoe, so
a
there's that.
failed it was a failed JDM import business up the street here, and they had a bunch of Suzuki Cappuccinos and Honda Beats, and I still see the Beats. They're going from auction to auction to auction because they end up on various buy here pay here style car lots, and I see the same one, and it's in the $5,000 range. And if I wasn't trying to purge myself of things, that would definitely be an option. I like those Honda
So you
Beats.
need
I think
another
they're
really
fun.
small convertible.
Totally. Yeah, exactly. That's the only kind of car I should ever be allowed to own. That's how I stay out of trouble. Put me in a big car, get another speeding ticket.
Yep. All right.
This is awesome.
Chrissy,
Yes.
anything in their next segment from you this week?
No, we just picked out our favorite ones. That's it.
No. I had one on an old show notes that I sent in, but it was a Facebook thing about using your gas cans that you use at the track to store gasoline, and why this is a terrible idea.
Why,
Especially
Mental? Tell us.
because those
All right,
gas
this is just the tip. Yeah, from
just
Mental.
the
Okay,
tips.
good.
So
Okay,
it
great.
was a
Keep going.
Facebook post. It's several weeks old now, but you cannot use your racetrack gas cans to store gasoline. That's not what they're meant to do. So as gasoline expands and contracts, those Hunsuckers that you paid a lot of money for, or the other fueling jugs that you use, they will crack because they are meant as transfer cans. So do not use your racetrack cans to store gasoline. If you're going to store gasoline, you should be using ideally an aluminum or metal jerry can style thing that can take the kind of expansion and contraction that gasoline does, but nothing with, especially with a seamed plastic. And if you've got some older Hunsuckers or those older, what's the other design? It's a little bit narrower and
The
taller.
red cans.
Yeah. You shouldn't be using those for exactly those reasons. The plastics also deteriorate in the sun, and you're just asking for trouble. And the person mentioned that they noticed the smell of gasoline in their house because they have an attached garage, and they ended up having to call the fire department because the cans basically put a quarter of an inch of gas in the entire bottom layer of their garage underneath their house. So they had to use a ton of oil dry and everything to get it all up, and God knows what that's doing to every other surface that it touched in your garage. So, and it's not something that comes up often because, as one of the commenters, I believe it was Florida Man Donnie, says, if you have a gasoline powered tow vehicle, how are you ever leaving the track with gasoline still in your gas cans? And I do know that we do that. We walk around and go like, all right, who's got a rental? Who's got something? So that is the proper way to dispose of old gas. Or if you have a ton of it because your car blew up on test day or whatever, you are not going to have a problem selling it to another race team. But do not use this for long-term storage. It's a bad idea. You're inviting trouble. And we genuinely and sincerely do not want anyone listening to the show or friends of anyone listening to the show burning their house down
Or just having
Yeah.
to clean that up.
or having
Yeah.
to clean it up.
What a mess.
Yeah.
Good one.
Good.
Thank you for
Thanks,
that.
Mental.
And I'm sorry that it did not make like the three different iterations of our show notes. I had every intention of linking it to that one, but got behind on that one.
Good.
And I don't know if we have an idea, but sort of a not humble brag. I've been invited to take the number 2 car of one of the teams that is running the WRL at Mid Ohio the first weekend in April. So I am returning to WRL for the first time in probably 10 years. Actually, it is.
Interesting.
It's 10 years since I ran a WRL race, and they have gone way up market. I am beyond intimidated because I'm going to be running with people like Sarah Montgomery in a friggin' Audi R8 race car, and I'm going to be running an E46 BMW. And the team, the Palomar Solar, they have taken several podiums. So I am way out of my
Wow.
element.
Okay.
I am way out of my element, but for every reason that it is scaring me is absolutely a reason that you take the damn seat. So we might do if we don't come with anything else, we might do a Mid-Ohio preview show.
Interesting. Okay.
Cool. So you're going from Are you just going to stay in Ohio? Go right to Pittsburgh because you're already there.
You're like
Just work
not
remotely
far
for
at
a couple
all.
days.
Yeah.
It
Right.
is like that.
It really is. Like 3 hours.
You make a compelling argument, and I might show up at your house a few days early and just hitch a ride. Yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah.
close. We can
Not
find you.
far.
All
We
right.
can find you someplace in Pittsburgh.
This is
go.
this is not terrible.
Okay. Well,
Great.
Anything else?
No. Happy to be
Well,
back though. It was nice
we
seeing
are.
you.
We are. I got to watch the F1 race with our buddy Tim Burr and Jeff Gates over there, and it was Jeff was mentioning that he actually was going to do very well after this last race. If you haven't watched the last F1 race, it's Thursday. You totally should have by now. So the Red Bull cars didn't do very well. Max Verstappen was out. Nothing for Mercedes finished, and it threw everything. I was crushing our fantasy league. I was in number 2, and now I am screwed. And if you want to watch how far I've fallen, you should join our F1 Fantasy League. It is at fantasygp.com and use the code 742-59541, and that'll take you to the Everyone Racers League.
Yep. Cool. Thanks for downloading us. Hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. Hope you'll join us in the world of driving, racing, online shopping, and building, because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed the podcast, subscribe. It's free. Go to iTunes. Give us that 5-star gold. Even if you hated us, 5 stars, and tell us why. Questions, show ideas, comments, thoughts, emotional outbursts. Drop us a comment somewhere. Everyone Racers, everyone.racers@gmail.com. We're on all the social things. You'll find us. You can still text Mental 484-243-0455. He wants to see pictures of your junk. Find us on Instagram, everyone.com, all YouTube, Everyone Racers, all those places. So anyway, thanks again. Until next time, keep shopping online for ridiculous things. And, there probably won't be any shiny bits on the ones you're going to like, but that's okay. Just don't set it on fire.